Hey there, Steve Bentley here. Going to be talking a little bit about the fasting articles that have been popping up lately on the Imagine Health site. And one of the things that you're going to be reading a little bit about there, if you're looking into those articles, is a little confusing because it's kind of scientific. They're put out by a doctor up in Toronto, a nephrologist, a kidney specialist who specializes in helping diabetes patients reduce insulin levels. So he's really passionate about that, very, very knowledgeable. And what you'll find when you go through the articles is it's not about calories. It really isn't. When you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, it's the insulin levels that you're actually, more specifically, not weight but fat. If you're trying to lose fat or gain fat, then the insulin levels are so important in terms of how your body's going to react to what it does with the energy that you bring in. So if you're eating things like refined carbohydrates and some animal proteins, what happens is your insulin levels go up, and if you don't control those, your body's going to take the fuel that you bring in and it's going to store it more as fat. So if you can control insulin levels, you're going to be able to better access and burn fat as a fuel source. So one of the articles, the recent one that I'll sort of relate this video to, is the comparison between fasting days and a low-calorie, high-fat diet. So don't freak out about either of those, because it's just food, right? Or a lack of it for a day or so. It's not going to kill you. There's tens of thousands of meals that you're going to eat in your lifetime. Missing a few isn't going to be the end of the world. Are you going to be hungry? Probably, but you're going to get so many benefits. They're going to make it so much more worthwhile. So we'll talk a little bit about the low-calorie, high-fat diet. It's about 3% carbs, 15% protein, and I think about 82% fat is what they did their recommendation on there. And it's about 70% as effective as the fasting diet, which we'll get into in a second, or fasting. It's not a fasting diet. And it's really just eating that kind of intake of fuel. So if you're really reducing your carbohydrates, you're going to have a much better insulin response than following the typical diet, which is about 50 or 60% even carbohydrates, 25% proteins, and 15% fat, which is what a lot of people bring in. I find more endurance athletes typically bring in a little bit more carbs, but again, they also struggle with fat. Regardless of how much they're training, they still can't get rid of that last 5, 10, sometimes 15 pounds of fat. So when I started introducing fasting to people, it actually really maximized not just their ability to access fat as a fuel source and get lean really quickly, but also so many other health benefits. And fasting has been practiced around the world for thousands of years by millions of people. It really works. The low-calorie thought of calories in, calories out for burning fat and getting to an ideal weight does not work. It hasn't worked for 50 years, but people still promote it because there's a lot of weight loss industry that focuses on that. I prefer to focus on fasting because that's a much more effective way to improve overall health. I'm going to be 50 in a few months, so for me, fasting and healthy aging go hand in hand, and I want to make sure I'm getting all that into my body. I use the isogenic system because I'm also interested in getting maximum nutrition into my body, but also getting toxicity out of my cells and my fat cells, my lymphatic system, and that's what the isogenic cleansing program does. So it's not a colon cleanse as much as a cellular cleanse that allows your body to convert these fat-soluble toxins to a water-soluble form so you can eliminate them out of your body. So that is just amped up fasting, but we're really just focusing on fasting here and how that addresses the insulin issue, because insulin is the primary driver. It's not the only issue, but it's the primary driver for storing body fat. And with 69% of the population being overweight here in North America, people need to do something about it, and what they're doing now is not working. It's not effective. And your brain, if you're going to try and eat at a certain diet, is going to kick you into getting things that it needs. Nutrition is one, feeling satisfied is one. That's why the high-fat component of a low-calorie, low-carb, high-fat diet works so well. But when you do fasting, some amazing things happen that dieting just does not touch. And we're going to talk about autophagy, because your cells have components of them that are becoming ineffective and they need to be recycled. Cells themselves have to actually be recycled, so apoptosis. So we're going to try and get old, ineffective cells out of your body before they can cause damage, and that happens very quickly through fasting. Glycogenesis, and just helping your body regenerate some cells, and you're going to get a lot of energy out of that. You're going to be surprised at how much energy you're going to actually have on fasting days, and that's not only because of recycling those cells, but your body also starts to release epinephrine and norepinephrine, so adrenaline, and then really cranks up the growth hormone. So I think adrenaline levels go up over 100%, and growth hormone between 1,000 and 1,500% typically on a 1 or 2 day cleanse or fast. So a lot of great things happening there. I just wanted to give you kind of a layman's term on what's actually happening when you're doing a fast. It's really effective. It's simple to do. You don't have to do the isogenic system. I just find if I'm going to do a fast and get all those other health benefits out, I also want to get some toxicity out of my system, so I add the cleansing component in as well. And outside that, I use the shakes and some of the other nutritional products that they've got for getting all the nutrition into my body that I can't get from normal food, which is typically grown in nutritionally deficient soil. So anyways, a lot of stuff there to think about. Get in touch with Piper if you've got some more questions. She's awesome at helping direct people to the proper food system, the proper plan on the Imogen Health site that's right for you. And if you've got any questions on the cleansing component or getting better nutrition into your body, whether it's from Isogenics or a company similar to that, let me know. Happy to help you out. Have a great day and chat soon. Bye.